Big Mama didn't trust folks blindly. She trusted with witnesses and with records and with receipts. So when people say blockchain is new, what they really mean is we finally figured out how to write down what Black and other communities have always practiced. Now that we've got the why out of the way, let me show you the how. Welcome to Becoming Big Mama, the podcast where wisdom isn't just old school, it's the cheat code for right now. I'm your host, Cassandra, and you have just stepped into my quantum kitchen. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Think less sterile lab, more Sunday dinner with your favorite people, like me. Food on the stove, conversation flowing, and somebody's always asking a good question. Today, we're going to talk about blockchain, one of my favorite technologies. Now, before you go and get all nervous, before your brain starts trying to do math it didn't sign up for, I'm going to break it down in a way that you've both heard before and have never heard before. In a way, Big Mama would. Oh yeah, we're finna Big Mama your block. Now, before I tell you what blockchain is, we got to talk about why it exists at all. Because blockchain didn't just show up out of nowhere. Blockchain is attributed to the creator Satoshi Nakamoto, who in 2008 published a Bitcoin white paper and then disappeared, leaving behind a system designed to function without needing its creator. Now, this is by design, not by accident. Blockchain showed up because trust broke down. If you remember, 2008 was rough. Banks lost a lot of people's money. Companies collected data and abused it, and platforms centralized power and left everybody exposed with their ass in the wind. And what folks realize slowly and painfully is that systems built on blind trust always end up hurting people with the least protection. Now, Big Mama had a saying for this. She used to say, trust, but verify, which really means I can believe in you, but I still need to see it. And blockchain is built on that exact principle. It's not about hype. Not about crypto prices. It's not even really about technology, because at its core, blockchain is asking one question. How do we build systems where trust doesn't depend on one person doing the right thing, but on a system that makes sure the right thing happens all the time? That's not a tech question. That's church business. That's beauty shop business. That's survival. Big Mama didn't trust folks blindly. She trusted with witnesses and with records and with receipts. So when people say blockchain is new, what they really mean is we finally figured out how to write down what Black and other communities have always practiced. So now that we've got the why out of the way, let me show you the how. All right, so imagine this. You're at a house. As a matter of fact, you're at a house party. Maybe you know the host, maybe you're just a friend of a friend. But you're standing on the first floor, the kitchen's just over your shoulder, and the living room is full of people vibing. The music is going. I'm talking, so you can come pick up your clothes, what I had, them folded. Right, people are vibing. And you can see the front door from where you're at. Somebody walks in. And if it's a good house party, what happens? Everybody look. Not in a rude way, but in a protective way. Like, who is that? Who they with? Yo, whose mans is this? And just like Kendrick said on Mad City, man down, where you from, nigga? Where your grandma stay, huh, my nigga? That person who just walked in, oh yeah, they pause. They scan the room. They got about 2.5 seconds to find who they looking for, because if you don't know nobody at the party, you don't just wander in like you own the place. So this person, they see somebody in the kitchen. Both of them lock eyes. And then, the nod. Y'all know the nod. Not a whole conversation, not a roll call, just that quick look that says, yeah, I know them, they're good. And everybody watching sees it too. And just like that, that person is allowed into the party. Not because one person said so, but because the room agreed. Now pause. That right there, that's blockchain. Think of blockchain as the house. The house is the structure, the environment, the space where everything happens. Everybody who's at the party, those are computers on the blockchain network. Now, the person who just walked through the door, that's a new transaction on the blockchain. It could be crypto, it could be an NFT, it could be you uploading some files, could be you saving some data. Different forms, same idea. Just something new trying to enter the system. And here's the key part. Blockchain is decentralized, which means there ain't one bouncer at the door, ain't one authority, or just one person deciding who gets in and who doesn't. Security doesn't come from control, it comes from community. The transaction only needs to be verified by one other person, one other trusted computer on the network, one nod. Once that happens, that transaction is added. Now that person, that new person that just came through the door, ain't just at the party. They're a part of the party now. And now they can help verify the next person who walks in. That's decentralized trust. Again, not about one person. It's about the rules of the room, the space, what everybody agrees to. And this is where that other old saying comes in, the one Big Mama lived by, whether she said it out loud or not. Many hands make the work light. At a good house party, everybody doing a little something. Somebody watching the door, somebody keeping an eye on the back, somebody in the kitchen watching the food or eating it. But everybody's making sure nothing gets out of hand. No single one person is carrying the whole load. That's why house parties work, and they still work. Blockchain works the same way. When verification is shared amongst people, when responsibility is distributed, when many hands are involved, right, the work gets lighter, the system gets stronger, the trust gets safer. It's not blind trust now. Everybody's watching, everybody's accountable, and everybody's protecting the vibe. Now, let's take it another step further with another example. Think about self-storage units like U-Haul or CubeSmart or something. Those 10 by 10, 4 by 5, 7 by 9, 2 by 1 units you put your extra stuff in. You know, like your favorite couch that doesn't fit in your current spot, china and heirlooms from your grandparents, things too precious to let go. You don't trust the storage company with your stuff. You trust the lock on your storage door. The company just provides the structure and the space. Blockchain works the same way. Blockchain networks provide the space, but you control what's yours. Now imagine if that 10 by 10 storage could be accessed from anywhere, or lets you share access without handing over your keys. Or what about record every single time somebody touched your stuff? Now that's blockchain storage. And no, it ain't just crypto. Crypto was just the first loud application that took the world by storm and honestly confused them if you ask me. Blockchain is really about verification, shared responsibility, transparent records, community-based trust, stuff Big Mama been teaching forever, right? And once you really get that, you can start asking better questions like, how would we design and use technology like this ourselves? How would a house party look like if we hosted it, right? What does safety look like when it's designed by people who actually need safety? What does trust look like online when it's built like the barbershop, the beauty salon, the cookout, the church basement? Because we already know how to verify one another. We've been picking up on the vibes. We've been doing it forever. The tech is just finally catching up. So here's the real takeaway. Blockchain isn't about removing people or companies. It's about removing blind trust. It's about building systems where work is seen, records are kept, power is shared, and accountability is baked in. Big Mama understood that. She knew systems work better when everybody feels included, right? When everybody got a little role. She knew you can trust people, but you always verify. Don't trust somebody who don't want accountability or transparency. And she also knew good work, good hard work deserves a reward. That's, in blockchain, what we call mining, validation. That's group governance, not tech talk, life talk. So the next time somebody says blockchain, don't get lost in the jargon. Think about the house. Think about the nod. Think about those who witnessed the nod. Y'all saw me do that to him, right? Okay. Think about receipts, because trust ain't blind. Trust is watched. One person lying is easy. A whole block lying, that's harder. And that's the point. So now that you've made it to the end, don't forget, I'm Cassandra, and this is Becoming Big Mama, a podcast where timeless wisdom meets the digital age. And if you like content like this, subscribe to Becoming Big Mama on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. And add me on your social platforms like TikTok or Instagram for more behind the scenes content. And until then, I'll see you next time, right here in my quantum kitchen. Peace.